the channel. Today we got some MLB news coming out of the Bronx, and for once, it's not Aaron Judge. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button as we are on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all the support as late. Like I said, we got some news coming out of New York, and it is the Yankees and shortstop Isiah Kiner-Falefa have avoided arbitration by agreeing to a 1-year, $6 million deal per Robert Murray of FanSided. The Yankees were expected to be big players in last year's free agency shortstop sweepstakes for fairly logical reasons. First of all, they had given up on Gleyber Torres taking over the position, bumping him to second base. Secondary, there was a huge crop of exciting free agents, which included Corey Seager, Carlos Correa, Trevor Story, Javier Baez, and Marcus Semien. However, reports indicated that the Yanks like their shortstop prospects and just want to find a placeholder for 2022. To that end, they acquired Kiner-Falefa, a defensive specialist with a below-average bat and 2 years of arbitration control remaining. The idea went according to plan to degree. Falefa posted a 10 defensive runs saved at short, and as the club vastly improved their overall defense, at least by the metric of their 129 DRS, was easily the best in baseball, and the Dodgers came second with 84. Outs above average and ultimate zone rating were a bit less enthusiastic about the work of Kiner-Falefa and the team as a whole, but they still achieved their goal of being better at run prevention. Their 3.5 runs per game was the lowest since 1981. Falefa's bat was still below league average as he hit 261 with the Yankees this year. The Yanks surely would have loved for him to take a step forward, but probably didn't expect him to suddenly become a middle of the order slugger. Nothing less, there was some reason to think that a non-tendered or trade would be possible for one thing, the aforementioned prospects that IKF was a placeholder for. They got 1 year closer to taking over. Oswald Perez and Anthony Volpe were considered to be prime candidates to be the shortstop of the future in the Bronx, but they still need more time coming into 2022. Peraza had only played 8 AAA games coming into the year, but he had another 99 this year and also got into 18 MLB games. Volpe finished 2021 at high A, but got into 110 AA games in 2022 and then was promoted to AAA for 22 more contests, adding to the crowded dance floor. Oswaldo Cabrera cracked the majors and played well in 44 games. He bounced around and seemed ticketed for a utility role, but that's another shortstop option in the mix. IKF also seemed to fall out of favor with the club in the postseason. A few defensive miscues led to a decrease in playing time. He was also due for a raise on his $4.7 million salary cap. With MLB trade rumors contributor Matt Swartz project the bump to be 6.5. Given those factors, it seemed within the real possibility that IKF could have been non-tendered or traded, but instead he'll stick around. Keeping IKF also has its merits. Even with all the kids seeming ready to take over at shortstop, the Yankees infield is probably uncertain, although at least Anthony Rizzo is now re-signed and locked in at first base. Torres is still in the lineup to play second base, and his $9.8 million salary cap makes him a trade candidate. Josh Donaldson and DJ LeMahieu are question marks after these players had disappointing seasons and at the latter finished the year on the IL. IKF is capable of playing multiple positions and could be bounced around based on how all the other situations play out, but agreeing to the salary also does nothing to prevent the Yanks from working out a trade in the next months to come. So that's just a quick update from MLB trade rumors. Hey, It was a deal that sent Ursula and Sanchez to the Twins, which Ursula is actually rumored to be traded to the Angels any minute now. But they got a young prospect out, or a younger guy out of it that evolved their defense. And defense wins games. I'm sorry. You can hit 10 home runs a game, but if your defense can't play defense, your pitchers can't pitch, and you're giving up 11 runs a game, what's the point of having 10 home runs a game? Defense wins championships. That's always been it. And IKF helps the Yankees in that department. And there were some good points in there that the younger guys aren't ready yet. The younger guys will take a step probably this year, and that's why the deal is 1 year where they feel Volpe and all those guys will probably be in Double A, Triple A, or a utility guy in the MLB right now and work their way to a starter. Yankees don't need to rush these guys, and it's great to see that they're taking this approach. For IKF in the postseason, he actually had a pretty good postseason. 18 at bats, he hit 278. No home runs, no RBIs, but he was getting on base. He also had a stolen base. And in 483 at bats this year, he hit 261 with 4 home runs, 48 RBIs, and 22 stolen bases. The guy is a in-ball play guy. He's not going to get you home runs. He can get on base, steal that extra base if you need. If you bloop a single and he's on second, he's probably scoring. If you hit a hard ground or a hard single up the middle, he's probably scoring. The guy has speed, and that's what the Yankees needed from him this year, and they got it from him. Yes, the bat was at 261, but postseason he had a pretty good average at 278. If he could keep that 278, the Yankees will be just fine with him for this year. But that is it for today, as IKF has signed a 1-year contract deal worth $6 million with the Yankees. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Gillis TV. I am on out of here.